Hey everyone, so tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and what I thought we would do before everybody eats turkey and as we're watching football is it'd be nice to have some beef jerky around. Some of you might reference this as beef sticks, but it's okay. It's kind of the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Canon jerky gun. We're going to use some Cabellas Seasoning. We're going to throw in a couple extra little ingredients here that I've learned to do over time. This could be made in an oven if you want. I'm going to use a REC TEC Pellet Grill, so it's got a really at the temperature we're going to be cooking at, it's more closer to a smoker to get that extra little bit of smoke flavor in. So I'll show you what we got going on and show you how easy this is for anybody to make. Okay, so for the first part of this, what you want to do is have some lean ground beef, 90% or better. Today I'm going to be using 93% lean ground beef. The fat content can really make your beef jerky kind of make or break. So you don't want to use 80% on this. So as long as you stick with 90% or better, it should be good. This is a 1.55 pounds. This gun's rated to hold 1.5 pounds. So typically what I'll do is I'll either make 1.5 to 3 pounds at a time, just so that I'm either filling this up once or twice, just to make it nice and even. Cabela's was recently, I think it was announced that they were purchased by Bass Pro Shops. So I'll be curious to see if the seasoning goes away or gets changed, but for right now I've got quite a bit of it. And what it is it's about $8, and inside you get enough seasoning to make 15 pounds of beef jerky. And you can either make beef jerky as they're shown, or you can do it with the ground beef. I'm not cooking 5 pounds at a time. So typically what I do is I'll take a kitchen scale and I'll measure it out in grams, and I'll put the whole packet down into a little container and find out how much that is, and then just do my math. So I'm using 1.5 pounds out of 5, take that fraction and multiply it by how much will be in here, and then I'll know how much to mix into my bowl for each one. Okay, another advantage to cooking this way too when you use ground beef is you don't have to do the overnight curing. When you make beef jerky, you have to let it, true beef jerky, you have to let it sit for about 8 hours or more in the cure. So I'm just gonna go through here and start measuring out everything, and then we'll go on to the next steps. So for the amount we're making today, I need 16.8 grams, which I'll just round up to 17. Now we're gonna move on to one of the little tricks I've learned, and this is, this is to your own taste, but what I've learned is a pretty good thing to do is take a third of the weight of your seasoning. So my seasoning, I rounded up to 17 grams, so I'm gonna take 17 and I'm gonna times it by 0.33, and I get 5.61. So I'm gonna round up, and it doesn't sound like much, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 6 grams of brown sugar in here, so that I'm just giving it a little bit of sweetness. Okay, there we go. We're just going to put that in the bowl along with everything else. Okay, so at this point we've got the water in here. They say a half cup of cold water per 5 pounds, so I just put the proportion in. And we've got our seasoning with some brown sugar. So now this is, of the whole process, this is probably the second to hardest part. I'd say honestly the hardest part is packing the gun, especially if you're doing it by yourself. And from here we just go through and mix it all together until it's very blended in. Now I almost forgot actually, there's one more little extra ingredient I'll put in at times, and that's Yoshida sauce. Now this isn't measured, this is just a nice little bit of flavor in there, and it doesn't really take much to notice that you put something extra in there for flavoring. This is the Canon Jerky Cannon. If you have somebody who can help with this step, sometimes it's kind of nice, but essentially what you're doing is you're going to hold the gun, and you don't want anything on it. The reason you don't want anything on it just yet is as you pack the meat into here, you want the air to be able to escape from the back. This can get just a little messy, but the more times you do it, you do get kind of used to it. So I've got one hand that I'm going to try to keep clean, and try to just keep only one hand that I'm worried about getting any meat product on. Let's take a look. Basically got all the meat in, and the tube is right at the back. Assembling this is pretty easy. It comes with a couple different attachments, but you've just got this. This is the attachment I'm going to use to put it on my mats. I'm going to put this end cap on. Okay, one thing I like about this cannon is you can spin it while you're going to make sure that everything's going straight, and then it's going to be much like I said, a caulking gun on here. But what I do is just simply take the gun and squeeze out. I'm trying to do this all one-handed here for you guys. But you just squeeze out essentially the length of a strip you're looking for. And right now what I'm going to do is just go through here now and repeat this process. If I was being a bit more of a perfectionist, I think I could have fit 1.5 pounds on that one, but I've got another one, so I'm just going to use it. Okay, there we go. That is 1.5 pounds of ground beef spread out into some nice jerky sticks. Okay, so outside, while we were getting everything ready, I've had the REC TEC out here. Now, according to the Cabellas instructions, it says to go ahead and preheat your oven to 200 degrees. I do 190 just to give it that little bit of extra time with the smoke. Now, on the more modern REC TECs, and you can upgrade, if you have an older one, you can do it, but they have a mode called Extreme Smoke. And what that does is that cycles the fan on and off, just to give it that extra little bit of smoke. Okay. We're going to let these cook for 1.5 hours. We're going to set a timer, and in 1.5 hours we're going to come back and we're going to flip them over. Okay, so at this point we've been going for about 1.5 hours. And if you can see in there, I'll grab the light. This is what we've got. And so at this point what we're going to do is we're just going to go through here. We're going to flip everything over. And again, we've been cooking at 190 degrees. And these are going to finish anywhere between 1 hour and 1.5 hours from now. I can kind of tell by how well they're done right now. I don't think it's going to take 1.5 hours. So I am just going to set my timer for another hour, and then we'll come back and take a look at them. Okay, so we've been going here just a little over 2.5 hours. Kind of hard to see. Oof, getting smoke in my eye, but those are looking pretty good. And what I'm looking for is for them to bend without breaking. And as I look at these, some of these ones near the front are looking like they're done all the way. So let's go ahead and take one of these inside real quick and test it. So as I go to bend it right now, it's not breaking in half. That's one of the signs. And I'm going to go ahead and rip this open and make sure it doesn't look raw. I'm going to say that these ones, they're probably okay to eat, and there's a curing seasoning in them. So they're safe to eat at this point. It's just a matter of how much you want them cooked. I'm going to let the ones that are out there go for another 10 minutes. I'm going to go grab them and let them cool off, and we'll see how they look. Okay, I just pulled those out of the smoker. I'm going to let them sit here and kind of get to room temperature, cool off, and probably dab them off a little bit, and we'll see how they taste. Alright, to conclude the video, I've got 2 volunteers right here. They're going to let me know how they taste. There's the plate of them all set up and done. They've cooled off. Can you guys do me a favor and smell it and see if you can smell any smoke?
They're good. I can smell it, but I'm not sure. I don't think I smell any smoke. Me either.
Okay, that's okay. I can smell the smoke when I eat them. So why don't you guys go ahead and take a bite and tell me what you think. This is the moment of truth.
Mm. I like it.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
You like them?
Mm-hmm.
I think these look great. Let me have a bite. What tastes going on? We can taste the salt in the beef sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I can taste some sweetness, and I can taste the smoke. A nice balance of all three. Not one thing is overpowering more than the other.
No.
So hopefully you guys find this a nice little quick and easy recipe. Feel free to modify it as you see fit. If you have a chance to apply smoke, I highly recommend doing so. I always think smoke makes things taste a lot better. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if I come up with any more cooking tips that I think are worth sharing, I'll be sure to do so. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Bye.